Let's pretend like we didn't see them there. Oh, hey.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh,
okay.
hey, what are you doing? Okay.
What are you guys doing here? On a Sunday? No, I'm kidding. Okay.
All right. Welcome to Stay
And Slay
with Mel.
and Krissy. Sang that a little bit.
And
So, Mel,
hey,
what are we going to talk about today?
today we're going to talk about drinking.
Right, it's April.
It's
And-
April.
Last episode, we talked about anxiety. And
And
now it's time for another A. Alcohol.
April alcohol anxiety.
Actually,
The Holy Trinity.
April, the last time I drank the alcoholic beverage,
Yeah.
it was April 22nd
Wow.
of last year. So
So
I'm
you're-
almost 1 year free of the alc.
Almost 1 year sober.
So, should we start at square one?
Yeah.
Should we take them on a journey?
Okay.
Do you guys want to come with?
Let's go. Let's
Let's start
Let's
at
sure.
day one. Day one.
day one.
Right.
When was your first sip?
My first sip of the alc.
When you were
The A.
21.
Oh, of course, obviously.
Of the big A.
My first drink was definitely pressured upon me.
Okay.
I was terrified of drinking.
Why?
I don't know. Anxiety, I don't know.
Okay.
Like, I was just scared of it.
Yeah.
My family, like, really wanted me to on Thanksgiving one year. I feel like it's, like, a thing we do in my house. Like,
Yeah.
my mom wants us to drink first, like, with her.
Yeah, like at home.
So
That
you
makes
kind of,
sense.
like, I feel like that's good for anyone.
Yeah.
So when you do drink without your family, like, you know how to handle yourself.
Yeah.
But, like, all my, like, older siblings wanted me to, and it was just kind of, like, you know, it was just wine at Thanksgiving. But
Yeah.
I was terrified, and I cried, and I was so scared, and I literally took a picture of my first drink. It was this much.
How old were you?
It was literally, like, a sip in a cup. I don't want to talk about age. What if we get arrested?
Okay.
What if the police show up at my door? I don't want.
Oh, okay.
We don't
You're
want to
right.
encourage underage drinking.
Yeah, I know. I mean, yeah. Okay. I don't think we were
But I
that
was
young.
21, Mel. I was 21.
Okay, all right.
But, like, also, I was terrified when my friends in high school started to.
Yeah.
And I didn't, like, I was actually really upset when my friend confessed to me that she would drink, like, at home, you know?
Yeah.
And I was just so scared. Like, I didn't want to be that, like, I didn't want to. I just really didn't want to. But, you know, you get pressured and
Yeah.
just kind of happens because, you know.
Well, was a part of you, like, curious to try it?
No, never.
Okay.
Never I could. I was just so scared. And then when I was, it was just because everyone else was.
Yeah.
You know, like, it was never something that I, like, really was, like, wanting to do.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, my first drink, like, I was such a baby little wimp, like, crying over a sip of wine. But what was your first drink? When did you start your journey with the alcohol? The alc.
So honestly, I'm not exactly the same because I wasn't like not interested in it. Just because like my family, they're like big drinkers.
Yeah.
Like big wine
it's like
drinkers.
sometimes it's just a big cultural, like, thing.
Yeah, so I just like kind of always grew up around it. So the first time I drank was just like with my friends and it was fine. Like but obviously it kind of freaked me out because I like was just drinking. Like I didn't even know what I was drinking or like whatever. And I was like drunk, I guess.
Yeah, right?
Like I don't
it's
know.
so silly.
And I don't know. I was like young and scared.
Right.
I was kind of scared. I don't know. And I wasn't like not interested in it, but I think I kind of like drank less growing up because of my anxiety. I don't know. It kind of developed into I just don't love it because it makes me anxious. And also like I don't know what my problem is, if I'm like allergic or something, but alcohol just doesn't like sit right with me. Like I am totally fine having a drink or two and I'm like fine. Like I'm good. And
Mm-hmm.
that's like where, judgment can come in
Right.
from people.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever gotten like judgment from not drinking
Yeah,
or
so
not being interested?
I feel like I'd always say like I'm done. Like I'm so done.
Yeah. And
And
like,
it was always like, yeah, right.
yeah.
We'll see how long this lasts. Like she's just
Because it's
saying
such a
that.
social thing.
Right. Um but I don't know. I feel like we should talk about like how society like kind of plays a role in like people and alcohol and like
Yes.
it's such like a culture like it's a culture like it's
Yeah, that's a
like
great way to put it.
we both went to college together at
Yeah.
Illinois State. And did you know like what you were getting yourself into? Because I had no clue. I mean, ISU, it's like 4 days a week, sometimes five. Like it's crazy. Like
So you were going out right away.
yeah, because that was kind of like the only like it felt like the only way to make friends
Yeah,
right off the bat, and
it was.
it's all you could do there. Really, I
Yeah,
mean,
it's in the
I
middle of
still did
nowhere.
like they had like the welcome week activities and stuff, and like I did those, but like that's all people do there. Nothing against it because I had so much fun
Oh yeah,
and I made so many friends.
and it's not
And I
like
love
you
that place.
didn't.
I
It's
love
not
that
like
place.
You've been sober your whole life
Right.
either. Like
I love that place, and
I think for me, it kind of. So my freshman year, I lived in a quad. Kind of was like isolated to just like those people, and I was really like scared. They were like my comfort in the beginning of school, and I was just
yeah,
like my anxiety. I was so scared to go out and get like drugged
right.
because my mom
you hear
is
the
like
stories.
big investigation discovery. So I don't know.
Right. She is.
I don't know. Yeah,
She
she
loves
is.
that stuff.
So that's like a great example of like letting your anxiety win. I think freshman year I let it win a lot, and I didn't like go out of my way to like go to parties and stuff, and like I really didn't drink much at all freshman year because I was like I don't want to put myself in a position where I'm like drunk somewhere and I can't get home, and like
Right.
I don't know.
It was scary.
I just was very scared, and I did.
I feel like for me, like yeah, like if I didn't make those friends right off the bat, they're great people. I
Yeah.
love them. But if I didn't have them, I probably would have just stayed in my dorm and done nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
Which
But like
isn't a good thing.
Right.
But
well, right, and I'm such a social person. Like I love meeting people. I love to go out. I love to
yeah, me
have
too.
fun. And if I didn't have friends, like right off the bat, I probably would have just stayed in my dorm.
Something I want to address here is for the audience is I think alcohol doesn't equal fun.
I started noticing like all the negative things that come with it. Like yes, you have a great time and there's you make good memories and there's lots of funny stories and the morning debrief is hilarious.
Yeah.
And, there's so much positive, but there's
Yeah.
the negative was just outweighing the positive for me.
Yeah.
And it got to the point, I think it was sophomore year, second semester, I just started noticing like all the negatives and
Yeah.
they were getting worse. And
Like what?
just like bad things that happen when you're drunk. And
Yeah.
I was seeing myself get hurt by that, but also other people that I love get hurt by it.
Yeah.
And on Sundays,
You just feel Yeah.
so anxious that I thought I was going to stop breathing.
Yeah.
Like that I was actually just going to die.
Yeah.
And it's terrifying. Or I would lay there and be like, everyone hates me. Not in an anxiety way. And I think whenever I tell people that I don't like alcohol for the anxiety side effects that I would get from it, they're always like, yeah, anxiety. And I'm like,
No.
that's so different than actual anxiety.
Like,
I
alcohol
would
is
lay there.
affecting your...
It's a depressant.
Yes.
It's like actually a depressant. Like it brought me down so low on those Sundays, sometimes even carrying on into Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah.
Like where I was just like, everyone hates me, or I'd just be so just anxious about any little thing, going to make dinner, like eat, like anything.
Yeah, like it
awful.
kind of debilitated
and
you.
And I never had hangovers. Like that was never my negative from the alcohol. Like I had maybe like 2 in my whole life that were pretty bad. But other than that, like I never had that problem.
Yeah.
I just had this like unbearable anxiety on Sundays.
Yeah.
And in the beginning of the weeks, because I spent Thursday, Friday, Saturday, sometimes Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday drinking my life away, you know? Yeah. And I mean, I did have fun, but like I said, bad things happen when you're drunk because you can't control yourself, your actions. They would happen to my friends, and just the anxiety that came with it. And also like so my senior year, I started, because I noticed like this anxiety is literally from the drinking.
Yeah.
I brought it back. So it's like I slowly kind of cut it off.
Yeah.
But I didn't notice what I was doing.
Yeah, like
but I was like, you know what? I can drink once a weekend.
Yeah.
Let's just once a week you can drink. I pick a day. And then like instead of hating drinking, it was more like, oh, I can't wait for that one day I get to drink this week.
Yeah.
Because I actually started looking forward to it again.
Yeah.
Because I really lost like my like enjoyment with it. Not even like my love, because I don't think I ever loved it. But like my enjoyment was just gone for a while.
Yeah.
But then I cut it back to one day a week, and like I started to enjoy it again. But it's like that kind of taught me that like you don't need alcohol to have fun.
Yeah.
And like it's crazy to me, especially in college, when I'd go out and like just order water those days I wasn't drinking.
Yeah.
People would be like, like, you know, like there's like sometimes you're on antibiotics, sometimes you're taking certain medications you can't drink on.
Yeah.
And people will always be like, oh, I'm on like antibiotics, I can't drink this week and I'm just gonna stay in.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you can go out still.
Yeah.
You're just not gonna drink, like that's fine.
Yeah.
You can still go have fun. And like that, like it's funny to me that people don't even think of it as an option. Like you can go out
like
and
you
order water. Like that's a thing.
Or a soda, or
right. Like you don't need to go
a mojito, like a
you don't like a virgin drink,
mojito,
but like
not a mojito.
So like it was just kind of funny to me.
I order mocktails all the time.
Right. Like you like why can't like people don't really think about it.
I always do that.
But it's like weird though, because people don't think about it.
Right. They think they like can't.
And then I was like, okay, well, I feel like it almost felt like I had to start proving this point to people.
Yeah.
That you can go out and order water. Mm-hmm. And every time people would be like, what? Like, you know, it's almost like a realization for them in a good way.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, cool. Like I'm teaching people things that like they probably wouldn't have come to one day a week thing. And then I moved out my senior year in December because I went home for that last semester. And then because I was home and I also wanted to start like working out and losing weight and just take care of myself better, because I did kind of like let go of myself senior year, drank only on occasion. Right. So January 2023 I started drinking on occasion, and I drank maybe 4 times that whole year. Because I think it was Shay's birthday, St. Patrick's Day, the senior bar crawl, and then I think it was New Year's. Those were like the 4 times I drank. Yeah. And the senior bar crawl was April 22nd. I drank, it was the senior bar crawl. Yeah. But after that,
I drank a lot.
I was just like, you know, the next time I'm going to drink's my birthday. And then, you know, life happens. And like, you know, I just kind of got in a place where I was, you know, I suffered a huge loss. We all did. And I knew for my mental state and knowing what alcohol does to me, there was no way I was drinking for a while. Yeah. And I also had a promise with our friend Shay that we were going to have a sober summer. So I stuck to our promise, and I was sober for the summer for her.
Yeah.
Because if she was still here, we would have been doing it
been sober
together. And me and her had all these plans for the summer. A little like we wanted to be children again. We wanted to go play mermaids in the pool, and we had all these silly plans.
Play outside.
But I wanted to do that for her.
Yeah.
It kind of felt like even if we didn't have that promise, I would be doing that anyway because I know when mentally is the right time.
Yeah.
And for me, it wasn't. And then after the summer, I was like, I looked at alcohol and I was just like, I don't really want that in my body ever again.
Yeah. And it just doesn't feel good.
It's like almost, I do definitely hate alcohol. Like, I'm not going to lie, I hate it. I don't like what it does to people. I don't like what it's done to the people in my life negatively, what it's done to me and how it makes me feel.
You're like completely sober. I'm not like completely sober, but I just am not a huge drinker.
Right.
And I haven't been. But in college, like I struggled a lot with that because a lot of people wanted to like pressure me to drink.
Right.
And I remember like my sophomore years when I started going out to the bars a lot. Mm-hmm. And that was like the year of COVID. So like it was just so much fun because I don't know.
Because no one was there.
Yeah, we went out a lot. And that's when I kind of started realizing like I only want to have maybe one drink and I'm good. Like drinking just doesn't make me feel good.
Right.
So
right.
I'm not like opposed to it. Sometimes I do want a little drink, but whatever. So I was starting to just like tell people no, like no, I don't, whatever. And people just wanted to like shove drinks down my throat.
A drink down your throat, and they still do. Like
they still do. Yes.
I could tell somebody that I'm a year sober, and they'll still say, "But like, just have one, like just one drink."
Like what?
And I'm just like,
and they don't know what you have been through or what it is.
Right, and
like,
I definitely struggle because a lot of people assume why, and like, it's like there's not just one reason for it. There's many reasons for it. But everyone kind of just assumes, like, oh, she's grieving. And she'll get over it.
Yeah, but no.
But it's so much bigger to me. It's so much bigger of a deal. And I struggle with remembering I don't owe an explanation to people.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times, people ask me, and I'm just not comfortable getting into it because there's so much I could say, honestly. And I just kind of say, well, because I don't want to. Like, I don't owe anyone an explanation. And I feel like when I first gave it up, I didn't really explain to the people in my life why, and they didn't understand it. And like, I don't think until maybe they listen to this that they don't fully understand it until now, because I've just done an awful job explaining. But I don't have to. Like, I just don't have to.
Yeah, no one has to understand it.
And there were people when I first, I told everyone like, oh, it's like. I kind of just gave them like it's my sober summer promise to Shay. Yeah. And then it kind of carried into the rest of my life, but I never really explained the deeper meaning behind it. And I always have to remind myself I don't owe anyone an explanation. Like, this is what makes me feel good.
Yeah. And really, at the end of the day, it's no one's issue but mine if I want to have a drink or if I don't, and I'm still out here having a fun time and enjoying myself, so that should be all that matters. And I think one of my friends, she also is the same way as me. Like, she just wants a drink, like a glass of wine, whatever, and we both kind of like went through that together. And I think finally we got to a point where nobody would bother us about it anymore. And like, from my friends, at least. Like, my friends respect it, and they are very much like, they know, like, sometimes I don't even want to order a drink. I just want to have sips of theirs and, like, share it or whatever, you know? Like, because I don't want to have a full drink. That's just, like, how I am. And now my friends respect it. But, like, people that I used to not really know and stuff would just, like, be weirded out by it. And I was like, I just don't really get it.
And that's, like, another reason to stick it out and just keep going. Yeah. Because I've made it this far, and I'm just like, I really don't think I would enjoy life if I started drinking again. And I
Yeah.
also don't think my body would physically keep it in my body. Like, I think it would just come right back out.
Yeah.
So I just want to keep going to prove a point. Like, yeah, I'm not doing what everyone else is doing, but look at me. I'm having a good time. You know, like, I'm making the most of it. And I'm also just kind of got to a point where I want to experience life to the fullest.
Yeah, and remember
And I
what
want
you're
to
experiencing.
be I like being present in a moment is so important to me.
Yeah.
Nowadays that I can't possibly do that if I'm drunk.
Yeah. And
So I
like have a lot of respect for you for like sticking up for yourself when people like try to bring you down on the topic, because I think for you, we're kind of opposite. Like, you've been getting the judgment more recently with your choice to like be sober. And I think when I was younger and trying to figure out like
what was best for you.
What was best for me, that's when I got the judgment. So I think it's harder to kind of go through it now because we're at an age where everyone's drinking.
It's all people do.
And I think people like get it twisted. Like, they think that you, like we said earlier, you have to have alcohol involved.
To have
you
fun,
don't.
like I could be like, let's plan a beach day, and
Like,
the next question would be like, okay, what alcohol do we need?
We can still go to a bar and not.
You can dance. You can
order. Just don't order an alcoholic drink.
Right.
If you don't want to. But if you do, then go ahead.
Then you do it.
It's like, I don't think that anyone should have any say of something that is not a choice of their own.
Right.
Because when it comes to drinking, it doesn't affect the other person at all. And that's what pissed me off.
Yes, a lot of the time, people do get upset when, like, they're the only one drinking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
and I just don't. Like, if you want to
to own it. If you don't own it.
Yeah.
You know?
Literally.
Like,
it doesn't matter.
I guess a big thing that I notice is when I go to concerts all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm there sober, and people will, ask me if I want to drink, and I'll be like, oh no, like I don't drink.
Yeah.
And it's always like, what? You're here sober? Like,
Yeah.
And it's crazy. But, like, also, I'm like, I want to be here fully. I want to be here present.
Yeah.
I want to, like, I paid to be here. I want to be here.
Yeah.
And
that's
I
so
noticed
valid.
that the people, like, everyone there that has a drink in their hand, they're so worried about going to get the next drink.
Yeah.
And it's never, like in the moment. It's always in the future about when's your next drink, how drunk did you get, and almost, like, how drunk you are determines how much fun you had that night.
Yeah, and that's very much not true.
It's crazy to me because yes, I was that person at one point. Like
I still have my.
I
fun
was
nights,
that person in one moment of my life, but like, I just remember when I was that person. Like, I'd have a drink in my hand and be like, "When's the next one coming?"
Yeah,
because we need to get drunk. Like, we have to. Like, it's the mission for the night.
Yeah, and something. So I know you don't watch Vanderpump Rules.
Yeah,
but.
Oh
Lala,
boy, here she goes again.
If you guys do watch it, Lala, she's sober and she talks a lot about it. Same with like James Kennedy. And Lala's always like, no, I don't like him.
I don't know these guys.
Yeah. And Lala's always like, sober is a choice, and that's like something that you need to understand. So that's why it's like, if someone is choosing not to drink that night, don't pressure them to. Don't question them about it. And it's also like, and then if I do want to drink that night, okay, don't say anything about it. Like, I'm the type where, like, if I'm in the mood, then I will drink and I will have a fun night. But it's rare. Most of the you've been like just, fully like, sober, but it shouldn't matter. Like, I think that for people in their 20s, it's not very common to like come across people that aren't like heavily drinking on the weekends or aren't like doing stuff that doesn't involve drinking.
Yeah, and I've had people like tell me like throughout this year, just like tell me like, I was gonna go get another drink, but then I saw how much fun you were having, and I just decided to stay here.
Yeah.
Instead of keep going.
And I think that is a little bit like easier now that we're in like post grad, because I think like
Right,
obviously
like I can't imagine doing this on a college campus.
yeah, like
At all.
it would be so hard.
Like that would just be like annoying. Like I probably wouldn't even want. I mean, I did do that for a while though.
Yeah.
And people would just like, the craziest thing to me is that like I have been excluded from plans because of it. Just because I don't drink, like I don't get an invite to the bar.
Yeah.
And I think that's crazy. Like
like that's, what does that have to do with anyone?
It's not triggering for me. It's not like I'm gonna sit there and pout the whole time because everyone's drunk. Like I've never been that person.
Right.
And I've proven that I have fun when I go out. So it's like
and that shouldn't be something you have to prove.
Right? Like you just don't want the sober girl around because why? Because why?
I know.
What am I doing any different? Yeah. The hardest thing for me, like I'm not even gonna like I'm gonna be so blunt with this because it's kind of vulnerable and sad.
Yeah.
But there still are moments where I like look at everyone and I'm like, why am I not like them? Like why don't I enjoy it?
Oh,
What's wrong with me?
I think that all the time.
I still have thoughts of that sometimes where I'm in a room of people and I'm just like, wow, I'm not like everyone. Like I recently went to a wedding and everyone was, doing the champagne toast or like, going to the open bar like every 2 seconds. And I was just like, what is wrong with me?
Yeah.
Like look at this room of people at all different points in life and they all love to drink.
Right.
But here I am like getting water and Coke with cherries in it at the open bar.
Like a Shirley Temple.
Like that was my mom's idea. But like I love to go out to bars and be the drunkest person there.
Yeah.
When I'm sober. And when people ask if they can get me a drink, I'm like, haha, joke's on you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, also it's just like, these people are drunk. Will they remember this tomorrow?
Yeah.
Let me be crazy and act out and like dance like a fool because who cares?
Yeah. Literally, it's like not that deep.
Right, it's
like,
not that deep.
We're literally on a rock.
We're all just there to have fun, so why not act? Why not be your true self?
That's what I used to tell myself when I felt like really under the pressure of like drinking. Like oh my gosh, I remember my friends and I were gonna have like this beer Olympics, and I knew it was gonna be so much fun, but I talked to my therapist about it. I had so much anxiety about it.
I would
because
too.
I was like, I'm gonna have to like have this pressure to drink, and like what if I don't want to drink all that, like
right.
But I want to participate.
Right. I feel like every time I was drinking it was just to feel like I fit in. Like, like every single time ever.
Like I wish it could have just been with like soda.
Right, I know. Like I wish I could go back in time and tell myself like, hey, we don't need to do what everyone else is doing.
But then but I wanted to do it, and it ended up being like literally one of the best memories ever.
Right.
And I don't know, I just think that everyone should just respect each other's opinions. Right. I used to tell myself all the time, I'm like, we are literally floating on a rock. Like no one truly cares if I'm drinking or not. And if you do, you're weird.
Right.
You're weird.
You're weird.
You're weird.
Freak.
You're a freak. Like, why are you so concerned if I'm drunk or not?
Right.
Again.
Slay and stay.
Slay and stay.
Oops.
Stay and slay.
Whoopsie
daisy.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
The peanut butter baby.
You know what we should do today?
What?
We should go back to Five Below for good old memories.
Yeah, we should. Let's do it. We're going to Five Below after.
Since we're on the topic of drinking.
Yes.
Would you say you have emotionally drank before?
I feel like I never would like be under distress and think, oh my God, I need a drink right now. Like that just has never really been the person that I am. But I like had this one story. I have this one story. I'm not going to go into details about it, but basically I said something like very embarrassing while I was like very drunk. And after that, I was like, I never want to do that again. Like I never want to expose myself again. So I don't know. Who I am when I drink is not like who I am. Like I just,
right.
I don't know. We don't vibe.
Yeah.
Me and alcohol don't vibe.
At this wedding last weekend, and it was a family wedding, but everyone, it got to the point of the night where it was visibly, like, everyone was
drunk, yeah.
And I kind of feed off of that. Like, I almost get secondhand drunk. It's kind of hilarious that your brain can do that. But I just get really silly. But I love to, like, prove that, like, look at me, I'm having fun. And, like, just kind of show people that that's possible. But I just started doing, like, silly things. Like, I know my mom hates that when I don't have table manners. So, like, I just started, like, not using a knife, like, holding up my food on the fork and just, like, taking a big bite. Or, like, there was, like, this huge, my mom was going crazy. And then
what does that have to do with
I dolphin spit water at my dad from across the table.
Oh, this is at the wedding.
This is at the wedding.
Oh, I thought you meant, like, in general.
Like, I was just being silly. Like, I'd look at my brother and be like, dare me. And then I do it. Like, I, like, dolphin spit water at my dad.
Okay.
I drank a whole pitcher of you know how they put, like, pitchers of water at the table?
Yeah.
I drank the whole pitcher in one sitting. Like, I was just like, watch this. And my mom was like, what are you doing?
She's like, what's wrong
They're like,
you?
you're the sober one. And I was like, yeah, I know.
I'm having a fun time. Me too.
Me and my friend went out to this bar, and, like, they had, like, a club room, and we were in there. And me and her were on this platform they had. It wasn't even, like, a stage. It was just, like, in the middle of the room. Yeah. And me and her, like, owned it. We were on that stage for, like, hours straight, no breaks. We were like, we can't give up our spot. Like, the DJs kept, like, putting the spotlight on us. And at the end of the night, we had all these fans. We were, like, signing autographs. Like,
silliness is key.
Yeah. I love to giggle.
Love to giggle.
Old Susan was.
Susan definitely drinks martinis.
Is that right?
Well, thanks for tuning in. And
as always,
stay vibrant. Thanks for watching Stay
and Slay
with Mel
and Krissy.
Bye.
Mwah.
Mwah.